Hi guys, it's Hannah and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things spooky. So today I'm talking about a personal paranormal story time. And actually it's a couple different paranormal experiences all put together in one video. And I decided to make this video because I haven't done a personal paranormal experience video in a while, so I decided to just make a story time about a couple different ones. So these experiences are kind of just randomly chosen. I just randomly chose to do these. Also, I wanted to say that I am sick at the moment, so if I sound a little different, that is why. I also want to say that if you hear some weird background noises, that's probably my brother and his friend, which are next door playing video games, because they get loud. Also, I don't want to keep you guys from watching the video, but if you notice, I do not have a background today, and that's because I just kind of thought to go plain and simple and just keep my regular room as a background. Anyways, let's get into this video. So, I want to start off by saying that I am the one in my family who has the most paranormal experiences. And why I think that is because people with a sixth sense or intuition are more likely to have paranormal experiences. And I have that. Each paranormal experience that I've ever experienced, and in the ones that I'm talking about today, I've had this feeling that there was a different entity than a person. But each time I kind of ignored it, but each time something paranormal happens, so yeah. So the first story is about whenever I was 7 or 8. So at this time, my dad went to go play poker with his friends, which he still does, and my mom had to be on a call for work. Our house is kind of a dead zone, so she had to go up the hill to go and actually talk to someone from work. So she decided it was okay to leave Jude and I alone for a couple minutes while she was on her call. So obviously this was back whenever my parents were still married, because now they're divorced. I was in my room drawing at this time, and I heard someone from like right outside the door start whispering my name. Jude and I always kind of prank each other and try and scare each other, so I thought it was Jude, which is my brother. So I just ignored it. And then I heard it again, and this time I loudly said, "Stop it, Jude," and continued drawing. And then it happened again, and I was getting annoyed now. So I went up right next to the door, and I decided that I would catch him in the act, and once he said it, I would open the door really quickly to catch him. So then I heard it again, opened the door as quick as I could, and he wasn't there. So I checked my mom's room, because my mom's room is right next to mine. So I thought maybe he just hid in there, but he wasn't in there. So then I was confused, and I checked his room, which is a little bit off in the hallway, but he wasn't in there. And I also checked the bathroom, which is right across from his room, and he wasn't in there. So then I went downstairs, and I saw him watching TV, cuddled up in a blanket, eating potato chips, which would have been very hard thing for him to pass off, and he wouldn't have been able to quickly run down the stairs as fast as I opened the door and pass off that he was eating potato chips. So I told him about what happened, and he actually started freaking out, which I probably shouldn't have told him because Jude doesn't like the paranormal at all. So whenever I told him about this, he was freaking. He was not about it. Parents got home, he told them, and they thought I was making up stories, but I wasn't. So fast forward, I think it was only like a week or two later. Everyone was downstairs in the kitchen, and my mom was making supper. So I was in my room playing with my stuffed animals, being a child. Then I heard knocking on the door. So I said, "Come in." I was like, okay, that's my parents. But I felt the same exact presence as I did from that thing that was whispering my name. So I was kind of on edge, but I just ignored it and continued to think it was my parents. So I said, "Come in," but nobody came in. And then I heard it again, and this time I opened the door to see if they just couldn't get in, but there was nobody there. So then I went downstairs to see that everyone was still in the kitchen, and I asked them about if any of them had knocked on my door, and they said no. And yeah, but since then, I have not felt that presence again in my house, so I don't know what that was, or like why it was only there for a little bit, and why it knew my name. The last story I want to say only happened a year ago. So at this time, my parents are divorced, and my dad has a separate house now. So every time at this time I had an iPhone 6. And I noticed that every time that I was at my dad's house, my phone would glitch really weirdly. So at first, I just thought it was the phone, but it was weird that it was only ever at my dad's house. And I remember I was sitting on this bed right here, and then I saw my phone glitching again. So what it did was it actually randomly chose one of my contacts, which was my friend, Michaela. I don't know if she remembers this or not, but it sent like some really weird texts to her, and I watched it spell out letters and make it into words. So what was really strange was it wasn't just like some random letters. It made a sentence that actually would make sense if you added a couple more words to it. It sounded like someone just dimmed it down. And I was kind of freaking out. I mean, I saw this thing just randomly typing without me touching it. Like, I wasn't even on the phone at all. I was sitting on my bed watching all of this, and I was like, and she's like, what does this mean? And I said, sorry, I did not mean to do that. My phone's glitching. And then it kept on doing weird things, so I had to say, okay, I have to go. My phone is glitching, which I had to do pretty often. I had to tell people that my phone was glitching. And the weirdest thing was a lot of the times it was Michaela. And I don't know what that was about, but you know. So there are some of my paranormal experiences. I have a lot more to talk about, so I will definitely be sharing more. These ones were kind of just chosen. The first two I kind of wanted to do together because it was the same presence, but the last one I just kind of chose randomly. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!